These are live pictures coming from KwaZulu-Natal, in Pietermaritzburg to be specific. This is where the ANC provincial leadership has just been elected. As we said earlier, Sihle Zikalala, now the new ANC KwaZulu-Natal chairperson. In elections that were held this morning, he defeated the current Premier, Senzo Mchunu, who was seeking a second term in that position. And the results of the elections of the top 5 positions were announced early this morning at the 8th Provincial Elective Conference in Pietermaritzburg.
Elubingelela ku NEC members akhona, newly elected leadership of KwaZulu-Natal, Sihlalo province, Sekela Sihlalo, Sekela Nopalo treasurer. Comrade, I want to present the declaration of the 8th Provincial Conference of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal. The KwaZulu-Natal African National Congress meets in its 8th Provincial Conference held on the 6th to the 8th November at the Agricultural Royal Show grounds in Pietermaritzburg. This provincial conference was convened under the theme Consolidating Unity and Cohesion to Advance Radical Economic Transformation. The conference was convened in the context of the deepening capitalist crisis manifested in its epicenter of capitalism in Europe and in the US. The crisis of capitalism has reached an alarming imperialist heights, mainly characterized by wars waged to undermine sovereignty of nations in the world, using every weapon and institution at the disposal of imperialist forces. This conference was held following the mass protests waged by the students all over the country demanding free education. This is a protest which came as an awakening to our movement on the need to ensure that more than ever before, we mobilize the motive forces of the NTR to intensify the struggle for radical economic transformation. It is clear that the time for radical economic transformation is now. We delegates to this 8th Provincial Conference of KwaZulu-Natal, of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, coming from more than 600 branches and all structures of the movement, representing the entire membership and the general support of the ANC, once again reaffirm that the ANC remains the only movement with a clear and comprehensive vision for the future of this country, South Africa. In this conference, we were joined by our leagues, ANC Women's League, ANC Veterans League, and ANC Youth League. We were also strengthened by the presence and contribution of the MKMVA, as well as our allies, the SABC COSAT to SANCO, and other components of the MTM structures such as COSAS and SASCO. The conference was convened at the time when the National Democratic Revolution was made, qualitative advances to better the lives of ordinary people. But despite the advances made in the past 21 years, the three-fold line, namely the high level of unemployment, poverty, and inequality, remains a major challenge that our organization still has to overcome. The international trend on Western unemployment and poverty reflects the reality of South Africa. We remain confronted with the reality that more than 7.6 million people in our country are without employment. The youth of this country is most affected by the unemployment. Many of our people remain homeless and live under conditions of poverty. The above contributes key tasks for the revolution in the current epoch. We take cognizance of the immediate tasks facing our organization in the province, which include the following: maximizing and deepening unity and cohesion in the organization. We recommit ourselves to ensure that the unity remains the guiding feature of all programs of the organization at all levels. The conference was unambiguous that ill discipline, with the result effect of erosion of our organizational tradition and values, were acting outside the policy of the ANC and outside the constitution of the organization, will henceforth be an occurrence of the past. This will ensure that intensive and vigorous political education is to capacitate our members as part of a program of a decade of a cadre. The conference was resolute in that deliberate conduct which defies this conference directive has no place in this movement. We are moving forward with our endeavors to forge unity. The unit of the organization is not a choice, but it is a must. On strengthening the relationship between the ANC and the alliance partners, in the light of the observation made by the organizational report about the non-antagonistic contradictions between the ANC and some alliance partners, hereby submit to the conference that the incoming PEC must arrange an immediate alliance council or summit to strengthen relations. The unity of the alliance is not a choice, but more importantly than ever before, especially given the consolidation of the enemy, which is against the National Democratic Revolution. On the posture of the opposition, the unity of the opposition in Parliament, which includes their call for the removal of the ANC National Chairperson as a Speaker of the National Assembly, and the impeachment of the President, the sustained media offensive against the movement constitutes the reinforcement of the anti-majoritarian against the National Democratic Revolution. Therefore, the most immediate task moving out of this conference must include going back to our community, mount campaigns on the implementation of our progressive policies, working with our alliance formation, and occupy a significant and strategic place on the battle of ideas. On the issue of the radical economic transformation, the 21 years of freedom and democracy under the government of the ANC realized great progress and change in the lives of our people. But any measure for the developing country, such as ours, particularly on emerging from the harsh realities of colonial and racist apartheid oppression, South Africa has scored major strides in improving the socio-economic conditions of the people of our province. Whilst this phenomenon exists, South Africa economic production capacity has also been affected by global economy pressure, resulting in the slow pace of service delivery to the people of South Africa. Faced by this situation, the conference remains committed in building a developmental state with the capable to direct, especially the strategic sectors of economic of our country. On the issue of infrastructure and development in our province, as delegates in the 8th Provincial Conference of KwaZulu-Natal, note and appreciate the progress that we have made in delivery of service to our people, such as roads, electricity, water, and housing. However, we note with deep concern the persistent backlog that our province is still faced with and have hope in our infrastructure development interventions, such as Presidential Infrastructure Coordinating Committee launched by the President to fast-track infrastructure development in our country. We therefore call upon all our structures to participate and help expedite this developmental agenda of the ANC and its government. On the issue of drought that is engulfing the province of KwaZulu-Natal, we are faced by a devastating drought that is wrecking the entire province, where our communities lose livestock on a daily basis. They do not have access to water, and where agricultural include substantive farming have suffered a monthly damage. This state of affairs has a potential to affect negatively any economic progress and undermines the gain made so far in provision of water infrastructure. The conference appreciates the efforts by the Department of Water Affairs and Sanitation in this regard and urges that mechanisms to address this crisis matter should be implemented with agency. The conference further commends the South African government initiatives to partnering with the countries of the world in harvesting underground water. We therefore appeal to relevant departments for an integrated intervention in this regard and urge ANC structures to participate in water-saving awareness campaign on the shortage of water in the province. On the issue of building strong ANC branches, the ANC branch must be built around not all else but capable cadres who must lead people-driven and people-centered campaigns on issues of development such as housing, crime, education, public transport and ownership, and control of economic resources at the local level. We call upon all our branches to recognize that to fight and win societal issues requires that we forge alliance with other democratic forces which are fighting mass struggle around social and economic issues. Drawing from the keynote address of the President that emphasized on the role of the branch as an agent for change in the society, the conference directs the incoming PEC to develop a branch manual defining a functional branch. On the issue of a local election, we call on all our members in every corner of this province to mobilize for the victory of the ANC and at the same time build and strengthen the ANC branches for the task which lie ahead. We reaffirm our commitment in servicing the people and to continue fighting for the development of all areas in the province. In this regard, we share a conviction that we should continuously increase the support of the ANC enjoys among the people in the province. Thus, the election campaign starts here and now. We are going to crisscross the province and mobilizing the people to vote for the ANC in the 2016 local government election. We declare this as a task of each and everyone. Each structure, each member should work to ensure that the victory of the ANC is certain. As we emerge from this conference, we are humbled by the discipline and focus of all delegates to the program of this conference. The maximum participation of all delegates and guidance from the NEC leadership has ensured that we emerge with a comprehensive program which outlines how the province will implement the resolution of the ANC 53rd National Conference, recent held National General Council, and of this conference. We commit ourselves to neither spare energy nor spare in pursuing of the implementation of this program. Democracy and unity are principles and not antitheses of each other. Like Mangaung, we reaffirm, and I quote, our firm conviction that the ANC's culture of vibrance, internal democracy, enhanced of unity of purpose, rather than being a source of division and internal discourse. I close quote. From this conference, we emerge with a collective provincial leadership and will share equal commitment to work for the success of the organization under the leadership of structures of all levels of the organization. Amandla, Amandla, Viva ANC, Viva. Thank you very much, comrade.
Mandla. Yes, comrades, there is a declaration presented to conference by Nopala. Now, declarations are usually not for debate. They are usually for conference to endorse. Our conference can endorse the declaration. Ungathi ukhona ufuna ukuphakamisa lapha egcineni. Yebo Nkosi yami. Manje wasuqalaza ngemuva futhi. Awumnikeze. Mangakhi ama-roving mics akho ba? Aphi? A position across the floor.
Nkosi Ngiphile Mlambo, fan outreaching. I raised to propose the declaration to be endorsed by the conference.
Nasi sandle sinye lapha besilosmile is a proposal for the adoption of the declaration by Mlambo Far North.
Thank you, Chairperson. I'm not going to be opposed to the adoption. However, I think the declaration talks about 21 years. I think in KZN, the ANC got into power in 2004. Maybe so that we don't own the mistakes of the previous party, we might want to start counting from 2004 when we talk about what the ANC has done. But moreover, I think because the commissions did not report, I would want to propose to conference that maybe the declaration be adopted in principle so that it allows for key items that were going to be presented by commissions to be accommodated in the declaration. Thank you, Chairperson.
Yeah, angithi phela kusho ukuthi na uthi in principle wenza wona lokuyana ukuthi uyakati uyakusekhenda lokasekushilo. Ngoba vele declaration as soon as it has been addressed by a conference, we take it as part of the processes, all processes of the ANC which need to be implemented. So ngithatha kanjalo kodwa ke eka 21 years, I think bakhuluma lapha nge-National Democratic Revolution, which is not just confined to KwaZulu-Natal. It's a South African program that is being driven by the ANC and its alliance partners. So that one, sizoyimisa kanjalo. Kodwa ke I take it you are second. Angithi siyavumelana Comrade Cedric ukuthi uya second. With that clarity. Wenze njani lokho?
Yes, Shalo, I think my contribution was well intended. And I don't know whether, it was clear that I'm saying those are the things that I mentioned. The issue is there is a debate that came from you as a chairperson, and I'm not sure if I really understood the necessity of the debate, but ngiyavuma okushoyo Shalo.
No, bekwama clarities. Clarify ukuthi siyavumelana akukho la konakele khona. Thank you, comrades. There is a proposal and seconder. Agreed. Conference has endorsed. Thank you very much. The last item before we give to the chairperson is again we have adopted. We have referred AMA reports. Political report, organizational report, and the finance report to AMA commissions, and AMA commissions have now have not reported to conference. Conference has then processed AMA reports towards EPEC. What we now are asking is for conference to endorse the reports and the process. We did not get a proposal for that and a seconder in the earlier stages. So we want to correct that anomaly nje kuphela. Comrade Nopala, ukale wangibuka kahle watshengisa ukuthi uzophakamisa nyangana le yangane yasesikoleni. Yes.
Thanks, Comrade Chair. I'm Tando Xolo from the Youth League. I would like to move for the adoption of the reports.
Thank you. Mover for the reports. Yes, Comrade Lapa yakugcineni.
Thanks, Comrade. Thanks, Comrade Chairperson. My name is Tembison Sile from Kanik-Lovu Zone, Ward 45, Lindanzama branch. I rise to second the adoption of the report.
Thank you. Report adopted, Congress. Thank you very much. That technicality having been dealt with, my comrade, sekuyisikhathi sokuthi ngethule kinina usihlalo wale ANC KwaZulu-Natal, which also means this conference. Msukumiseni ke my comrades.
Tamboba, Bambi Sandla Sam, Oliver Tamboba. It's a Oliver Tambo, Bambi Sandla, where Oliver Tambo, Bambi Sandla, Oliver Tambo, Bambi Sandla Sam, Oliver Tambo. Usibambunga sihegeliba bambi sandla we Oliver Tambo bambi sandla Oliver Tambo bambi sandla sam Oliver Tambo bambi sandla Kiti Oliver Tambo bambi sandla Tambo, Oliver Tambo, Ambisandla Sam, Oliver Tambo, it's Oliver Tambo, Ambisandla, Oliver Tambo, Ambisandla, Oliver Tambo. Sandla Sam, Oliver Tambo, Bambisa. Amandla, long live ANC, long live. Long live KOSATU, long live. Long live South African Communist Party, long live. Long live SANCO, long live. Malbongwe, raw young lions, raw. Viva umkhonto wesizwe, viva! Viva Veterans League, viva! Mandla! Comrade Slalo, Comrade Matingwane, the officials of the ANC in the province, the PEC yet to be finalized, the NEC members who are here, Comrade Joseph Pasha, the convener of the NEC deployees, and all NEC deployees. Comrade Malusi Nkanyezi Kikaba, who comes from this province, the leadership of regions of the ANC, the leagues of the ANC, the Youth League, the Women's League, and Veterans League, the leadership of the MKMVA, our alliance partners, comrades who are in government, fellow comrades and all. The 8th Provincial Conference of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal is now concluding its business. As the conference adjourned, was satisfied that it has achieved the task it had been convened for. We take this opportunity to thank all delegates for their patience and dedicated participation as the program of the conference was enduring. The KwaZulu-Natal province has always contributed to the growth of the ANC and its unity. Since the unbanning of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal has grown immensely. We pledge and salute all leadership generations that have ensured the growth of the organization in the province. These include the leadership under President Jacob Zuma, the leadership under the former chairperson, Comrade Busiso Joel Ndebele, the leadership under Comrade Zwelini Mkhize, and the leadership under Comrade Senzo Mchunu Macingwane. Among those who have served in all of these leadership generations is our provincial deputy chairperson, Comrade Willis Mchunu. While he's serving with us, we commend his experience, humility, contribution in the growth of the movement. He remains a source of wisdom, a fountain of knowledge to all of us. Having served in the previous PEC, we commend all PEC members who served in the outgoing PEC, especially the chairperson, Comrade Senzo Mchunu Macingwane, the Deputy Secretary, Comrade Nomsa Dube Ncube, the Treasurer, Comrade Umampeki Nkonyeni, and all PEC members who were part of that PEC. In the organizational report we presented, we alluded to the point that at all material time, PEC members were always available for organizational work and servicing the organization. As the ANC conference, we once again affirm our commitment to the historic mission of uniting and serving the people of South Africa. Despite the constraint of time and heavy program we have managed to come up with programs that respond to the immediate needs of the people of KwaZulu-Natal. The provincial conference took place 2 weeks after the ANC held its fourth National General Council in Gauteng province. The provincial conference affirmed the correctness of the resolution of the NGC that the ANC must work hard to uproot factionalism in all its structures. The fundamental problem with factionalism is that those who implement factionalism, when the organization talk about factionalism, they don't see the organization talking to themselves. They believe that the organization is talking to the others who are opposed to them. Self-introspection. In the fight against factionalism, the first requirement is self-introspection. Where are we? What is your role as the cadre of the movement in advancing factionalism? We should uproot factionalism in the organization. One of the key tasks that the provincial conference engaged on is the need of unity and cohesion of the organization, not only of the PEC, but of all structures of the movement. As the province, we must reclaim and restore unity of the movement at all levels. We will commit ourselves to the principle of collective leadership, that the PEC and all structures of the organization must work together as collective. No one must see himself or herself as possessing sole wisdom. No one among ourselves must arrogate powers to impose himself or herself to others, let alone imposing himself to the organization itself. Unity will require that we work in a way that will reflect and respect lower structures and stop building individual power block amongst the regions and branches. Unity will require that members of the organization should ensure that all members have space and platform to operate freely and express themselves in a way that encourages open debate in the movement. Unity will mean that we put an end to the use of state resources to factionalize the organization. We must also ensure that structures of the organization defeat the use of money that have been reported as having emerged as the main threat that erode the moral values of the organization. the ANC as an organization that keep those who are inside happy and those who are outside attracted to get inside, must ensure that its members, those who are inside the ANC, are free to express themselves at all times. There must be no person who feels threatened or deprived an opportunity to express himself freely. President Jacob Zuma, speaking to us yesterday, was instructive to this point when he said, and I quote, "It is an alien to the ANC to hold grudges against each other and remain disrespectful to one another because they hold different views on a particular issue," unquote. We can't remain with grudges because we once differed. We have a right to differ on debate. We have a right to differ on leadership preferences. But once we reach a decision, all of us must unite and lead the organization. These words from President Jacob Zuma should remain forever enacted in our minds as we prepare to go back to our branches and work for the ANC. Whatever differences that may have arisen from time to time coming to this conference, we should ensure that we engage and ensure that we unite the organization. But also going forward, we must keep the movement united. We all have a collective task to defend the unity, ensure that we practice the teachings of our forebears, which are John Langalibalele Dube, Oliver Tambo, Walter Sisulu, Chris Hani, Nelson Mandela, Henry Gwala, Moses Mabhida, and many others. We must rise above our short-term differences and close ranks to defend, consolidate, and advance the ideas of our revolutionary movement. Whilst we impressed on unity of the organization, we need to emphasize the importance of instilling discipline in the organization. We wish to send a clear message that ill discipline does not belong to the ANC. All members of the ANC are expected to conduct themselves in a manner that preserves maximum discipline at all material time within the organizational activities and even in their general life. We call on all members to preserve discipline and unity of the organization. We shall never suppress the democratic views of members. We should not suppress the skills and contributions of members. Members must be at liberty and be encouraged to display their talent and skills at the disposal of the movement. We reaffirm the declaration of the first ANC NGC held in the year 2000 in Port Elizabeth, where the ANC said, and I quote, "The ANC is our family, our home, built on the foundations of mutual respect, decency, trust, and open discussion. When we argue amongst ourselves, we do so inside home. When we celebrate our achievements and goals, we dance before the world. Our patience is rooted in the realization that we grew together, but we will be firm with the unruly element who attempt to disrupt our programs. We welcome strangers at our door and will teach them the ways of the ANC so that they too can benefit as we benefit from the collective wisdom of our traditions, our forebears, and our developing membership," unquote. Those who join the ANC, they must come and they must be welcome to the ANC. They must be orientated to the ANC, but we must preserve the traditions, the values of the ANC at all times. As we emerge from this conference, we are embarking on the important task which requires our maximum focus. Working together with the NEC deployees, we are going to complete the task of preparation for eThekwini Regional Conference and ensure that the regional conference is convened immediately. Such process must be open, transparent, and inclusive to all members of the ANC. Such process must seek to unite the organization and avoid furthering divisions. We must restore the vibrancy and activism of the ANC in the eThekwini region and further restore the confidence of the membership and the people to the organization. We commit ourselves to the membership and all branches of the ANC in eThekwini to work with them for a smooth and events-free conference, a conference that will truly reflect the character of the movement. As we conclude this conference, we are inspired by the achievement the ANC-led government has scored since 1994. Many strides and achievements have been made on delivery led by the ANC government in KwaZulu-Natal since 2004. In the same vein, we are acutely aware of challenges that still persist and affect our people. We are aware that there are a number of areas which still need basic services, in particular water, sanitation, and electricity. We are inspired that there are areas where we have attained 100% electricity coverage, such as Downhauser. We will continue to work to ensure that we provide basic services to all people of KwaZulu-Natal. One of the critical challenges facing our country is unemployment. Whilst we still call on the private sector to play its role, we also call on our government, departments and local municipalities to ensure that they continue to play their role by providing job opportunities to people who are unemployed. Another important task is to confront and deal with social ills afflicting the life of many families in the province. The ANC branch cannot remain silent when women are raped, when children are killed. We must take ongoing campaigns to fight social ills whenever these prevails. The ANC-led alliance need also to work with government on the campaign to fight the killing of the police in the province and other violent activities that are prevalent in some areas. The ANC must also ensure that it does not lose its revolutionary character. The march led by the students as a call for free education should be interpreted in entirety. It was a call where students of South Africa pledged themselves and say to the ANC, African National Congress, we still have hope to you as the liberator of our country. But it was also a call for the ANC to expedite transformation. One key area we have identified is economic transformation. We must ensure economic growth, but not only sustained growth, it must be a growth that comes with the integration of all previously marginalized people. The people must be included in the mainstream of the economy. This should include the use of cooperatives and SMMEs to integrate our people in economic activities of our country. We must ensure good governance. This includes fighting against corruption whenever it shows it aggregates. Secondly, we must build a civil servant to respond to the need of the people of the province. We need a cadre in the civil service capable of driving change and as enthusiastic to respond to challenges facing our people effectively and efficiently. As we meet here, Our province has been characterized by some elements of the lack of social cohesion. In the recent period, we've seen unfriendly remarks toward the Indian communities. We share a view that our economy remains in the hands of the few, in particular the white males. We agree drastic programs must be explored to ensure immediate redress of the economic imbalance. However, that does not call on anyone to insult other racial groups of our country. We believe that South Africa belongs to all who live in it. There are challenges emerging from the historical injustice, the apartheid colonialism, and such challenges cannot be apportioned on the basis of racial groups. As the society, we must ensure that we do not lose sight of the non-racial society which we seek to attain. Our revolution should overcome racial and gender divide. We should ensure that our people are integrated as one nation. As we emerge from this conference, we'll strive to strengthen our working relationship with all sectors of our society. We've developed a good working relationship with traditional leaders, and we will strive to keep this relationship improving. We appreciate the role played by His Majesty the King, King Zwelithini. We will continue to enhance our working relationship with the Royal House and ensure that the ANC enjoys a good relationship with the Royal House. We shall continue to strengthen links and interaction with civil society organs and various stratums within the province. These include working with the religious sector to advance social cohesion and other programs. These include working with professionals and academia in ensuring integration of the people into one society and advance one common agenda for the future. We pledge our commitment to work with the ANC Women's League to address the plight of women in our country. There is no other home for women in our country except in the ANC Women's League. The task of advancing women's struggle is not only for women, but also for males as well. As we conclude this conference, we are mindful of challenges facing the youth, in particular the high level of unemployment. We will continue working with the Youth League. We will engage with the Youth League on how to take forward their submission on issues of youth development. We reaffirm the ANC decision that each department, each municipality must have a youth development directorate which coordinates the programs of youth development. We will take forward the issue of youth economic development, which include supporting youth-owned entities, business entities. We continue to be inspired by having veterans in our midst. To us, they remain a source of inspiration, a reservoir for knowledge. We should always strive to emulate the best values epitomized by the veterans of our movement. In all meetings of the ANC, they are the first to arrive. They stay throughout the meeting. When you go through credentials, they will be there in full complement. We take great inspiration from our veterans. Comrades, any struggle that does not value its historical evolution stands at risk of losing its own history and identity. We are inspired by the role played by combatants of Umkhonto we Sizwe And we shall continue to work with the MKMVA to address challenges that faces these cadres. This requires our full commitment and it cannot be a paper dream. This conference was strengthened by the participation of our alliance partners, the SACP, COSATU, and SANCO. As the declaration have alluded, we will work with COSATU, SACP, and SANCO toward the convening of the provincial summit, which must take place immediately. To us as the ANC, COSATU, SACP, and SANCO are dependent allies of our movement in pursuit of the struggle. Together, we share a common commitment of attaining the national democratic revolution. The 2030 vision remains a true reflection of such a society. We shall work together with the alliance component to attain the ideals expressed in the Freedom Charter. Fellow comrades, the critical task of this decade is to restore the gloriousness of the ANC. This should find expression through addressing all new tendencies that afflict our movement. This program of a decade of a cadre includes building a cadre with integrity, commitment, and skills to serve the people with dedication. We should strive to be the best. And as members of the ANC, individually and as collectives, we should strive to possess best attributes, talents, and skills. Through our own conduct and practice, we should preserve integrity of the movement. Once again, we affirm that the ANC, even during the time of apartheid colonialism, represented something good, not just something that is better than the apartheid. It asserted humanness of human spirit, the search for society at peace within and among themselves. That assertion is from the strategy and tactics of the ANC. We're not just opposed to apartheid, but we're looking for something far better than the apartheid colonial system. No organization should be able to compare itself to the African National Congress. In terms of our own conduct and in terms of our own policies, we should excel. Comrades, this conference is not and should not be viewed as a mirror of any future conference of the ANC. The ANC in KwaZulu-Natal province held its own conference. And this is not about 2017 national conference. The outcome of this conference, the outcome of this provincial conference is about what we will be doing for our province and the leadership we will provide. Ours is unity of the organization, and we will only discuss issues of future conferences at an appropriate time. Comrades, we take this opportunity to commend the ANC Women's League on its march titled Hands Off Our President. The majority of our country voted for the ANC under the leadership of President Jacob Zuma. Yet some have made it their own business to attack the president at any time. Those who attack the president do so only to weaken the African National Congress, and they want to ensure that the ANC lose its integrity in the society, and that cannot go unchallenged. The step by the ANC Women's League, the step and the march by the ANC Women's League must be emulated by many of us. As we adjourn this conference, we once again send our best wishes to students who are writing exams, in particular the matric students. We We wish them a great success. Comrades, we shall meet, crisscrossing the valleys and hills of our province. We have agreed in our local government election strategy workshop that we need to ensure that we retain all ANC municipalities, that we need to strive to take over those that are not yet under the ANC. And that will only happen through dedication, hard work of all of us as the leadership and branches of the organization. But in pursuit of this objective of emerging with a decisive and overwhelming victory in the forthcoming elections, we must work in unison and be inclusive. No one must be isolated from the campaigns and the programs of the ANC. Comrades, unity is sacrosanct. Unity is a pillar. You cannot unite with those in your own group. You must unite with those who had a different views with yours. And ours here is to unite with everyone as the African National Congress. I have said that once the leadership is elected, it is a task of all members to unite behind the leadership. But it is equally a task of those elected to ensure that they service all members of the organization, in particular those who would have not supported their leadership. I'm hopeful, I remain hopeful that the elected PEC will ensure that it services all comrades of the ANC, irrespective of their views before this conference. I'm also hopeful that there is no reaching that will frustrate any branch because it had a particular view toward this conference. Comrades, as Madiba asserted, united we stand, divided we fall. Amandla! Long live ANC, long live. All power. Siyabonga. Comrades.
Well, those were the live pictures there coming from Pietermaritzburg from the 8th Provincial Elective Conference in the KwaZulu-Natal capital, where Sihle Zikalala was this morning elected as the new KwaZulu-Natal chairperson.